Prior to Christ's return, the veil is being lifted to reveal the truth of our reality in the spiritual battle we were born into. And one aspect of that reality is the truth of cosmology, where we live and why. The globe Earth revolving around the sun is a false model of cosmology known as the heliocentric model. The heliocentric globe model has occult, mystical, and pagan origins and is contrary to Scripture. Helios was a sun god in the polytheist religions. Sun worship is a foundation of Egyptian, Greek, Roman, and other pagan polytheistic religions. Helios is also known as Hades, Zeus, Apollo, Kronos. Prior to the mid-16th century, people relied on their own senses and common sense to observe and understand their home, God's creation. A flat, unmoving earth underneath their feet with the sun, moon, and stars above versus a globe spinning at 1,000 miles per hour through a vast space. By the time of the Protestant Reformation in the 1500s, the scriptural truth was also made available to the masses with the printing of the Geneva Bible and then the KJV Bible. The Bible describes a stationary, flat earth within its firmament. God provides the luminaries, the sun and the moon, to benefit his creation within that firmament. Below are some of the biblical scriptures describing the home God created for us. Isaiah 40:22. It is he who sits above the circle of the earth and its inhabitants, like grasshoppers, who stretches out the heavens like a curtain and spreads them like a tent to dwell in. Psalm 104:5. He set the earth on its foundations so that it should never be moved. Revelation 7:1. After this I saw 4 angels standing at the 4 corners of the earth, holding back the 4 winds of the earth, that no wind might blow on earth or sea against any tree. Job 26:7. He stretches out the north over the void and hangs the earth on nothing. Again, the devil took him to a very high mountain and showed him all kingdoms of the world in their glory, which can't be done on a globe. That's Matthew 4:8. Proverbs 8:27. When he establishes the heavens, I was there, and he drew a circle on the face of the deep. It's important to note that a circle is different than a sphere or a globe. Job 26:10. He has inscribed a circle on the face of the waters at the boundary between light and darkness. And it goes on. But to counter the Protestant Reformation in the 1500s, the Jesuits reintroduced the heliocentric model. And to accomplish this, they commissioned Copernicus, who was a Catholic canon and a Gnostic. Copernicus was propped up by the deceivers as a supposed astronomer, polymath, and economist. But Copernicus' theory was not based on observation or science. It was taken from the Gnostic writings of another mystic Greek astronomer, Aristarchus of Samos, who was around about 300 BC. And Aristarchus took his ideas from ancient Jewish mysticism known as the Kabbalah. Kabbalah is a result of pagan ritualistic contact with demonic realms. Other pseudoscientific theories, which were damaging to the truth of God's creation, were propped up during the Renaissance by Newton, Galileo, Descartes, Kepler, Da Vinci, and others. Many of these pseudoscientists also based their ideologies on ancient pagan mysticism, Hermeticism, Kabbalah, and alchemy. One example of this is the incorporation of Hermeticism into their so-called theories. Hermes Trismegistus was a mystic and a sorcerer who combined the pagan principles of the Greek god Hermes and the Egyptian god Thoth. These demonic philosophies were then filtered down by the mystery schools such as the Royal Society, the Rosicrucian teachings, and Freemasonry. These groups use false religion, pantheism, and occultism, false education, per the scientific revolution, indoctrination, and propaganda to deceive the population. Today, these same goals of deception are achieved using the educational system, the media, mind control, and other forms of sorcery. How many times in a day is the globe Earth shoved into our psyche via websites, movie screens, TVs, branding, phrases, and so on? In our modern day, NASA incorporates similar sorcery into their so-called missions by using the names of ancient pagan deities such as Apollo, Artemis, Osiris, etc. And here are some of them. You can see they just go on and on and on. There's even a Da Vinci in here. There's a Grail, which I talk about in some of my other videos. Holy Grail. And it just goes on and on. So it's important to begin to accept the battle that we were born into and how to avoid the pitfalls and deceptions, because we're going to begin to see more demonic deception and sorcery, which will have increasingly profound spiritual effects during the end times. A few other examples of this are quantum physics, AI, pharmakia, and alien deceptions. And I'm going to put a link to some other excellent videos about this truth in the description below. And I just want to close this out by saying any form of pantheism, paganism, sun worship, mysticism, Kabbalism, or scientism breaks God's first commandment, which is, "Thou shalt have no other gods before me." Exodus 20:3. Thank you.